How do you evaluate the press freedom condition in Nepal in these days?
It is deteriorating because increased number of journalists are coming under attack of various groups, organized or individuals. The latest victim is Tika Bista, the correspondent of RAJDHANI national newspaper, who was based in Rukum. There is intense culture of intolerance developing in the media, depending on which ideology you belong to, or whether you are a conformist to your political view or not, you are targeted. That's a very dangerous situation that has developed in this country. And if media organizations don't debate on this, I think professionalism would be the biggest casualty. Professionalism in the media would be the biggest casualty here.
But as you see, the democracy has been restored. The Republican setup is also established. But which challenge, especially in terms of security, the Nepali journalists must face?
Well, democracy is a political system. It's not a label. In democracy, the dignity of the person and safety and security of the individual citizens get the utmost priority. But we don't have a government that exists. We don't have political parties who respect the individual dignity and safety and security of individuals. That's where the problem arises, because we are saying democracy, we are saying republic, but then that doesn't, those who belong to that political setup have not yet started recognizing the existence of the people who might be holding different views. If journalists don't conform with your views, that's what I said, they are targeted.
Okay, it means you like to say, like, in the constitution, in the acts, in laws, what it is written is only just to show. It's a showpiece.
Yeah, constitution is a directive for the government, for the individual parties, and for individual citizens to follow. That doesn't automatically get implemented. Unfortunately, that's what's been happening. We are happy saying that, okay, the constitution has guaranteed certain freedom.
But the constitution and the laws, the same parties who you're talking about have fixed everything right in the constitution regarding the press freedom and all the freedoms.
Yes, but if you take a look into a graph of the culture of impunity, cases of violation of human rights, cases of violation of or attack on individual citizenship, if you take into account the kind of general insecurity that prevails in the country, the culture of impunity has almost set a record. In that kind of situation, I don't think journalists or any person can feel safe in this country.
So, would you like to say like that the biggest enemy for the Nepali press, Nepali free press, is political system or party?
Well, political system have two standards. One, when they are in power. Two, when they are in opposition. In opposition, they normally tend to say that we respect the, press freedom and individual, safety and dignity. But when they are in government, they do just the opposite, or they don't show that kind of commitment which they would have professed when they were in opposition. But in today's context, Maoist party is still in the opposition, but it hasn't behaved as a normal opposition party, which like other parties used to say that we respect that. Maoists are suspect in many cases, like Birendra Shah, journalist murder case, Prakash Thakuri's case, even Tika Bista's case, they are suspects. But what creates much more worries is the party as such hasn't done anything to cooperate with the government to bring those people accused or suspected to trial. That's the worrying part. And the government is too weak to arrest them and try them through due process of law.
So Maoist is the biggest enemy, as you like to say.
No, yes, they have a record. Maoist and the state, they were the two biggest violators. They had targeted journalists in bigger number. The state now, that was when the king had taken power, that 15 months, although we have a history of 27 journalists being killed in 10 years of conflict and after, Umar Singh was the last. But journalists were killed by both sides. When this country was ruled by the political parties and by the Maoists, as well as during the king's regime. Now king is gone, but we haven't seen those violation cases, those involved in the murder of journalists, although in most cases they are identified, they have not been tried. So what I'm saying is the state is indifferent, and Maoists are not really serious about cooperating with the government in tracking down the culprits, or even handing over the culprits who are already identified and who belong to their parties.
But currently you see, as you talked about Maoist, but particularly in the plainland in Tarai of Nepal, almost all the journalists in the media are intimidated, and they are, as it is reported, they are compelled to self-censor the stories. So in this case, do you only see the Maoist as enemy? Or?
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is what the Maoists have done, and the failure of the state to apprehend the culprits and bring them to justice has given legitimacy to any armed outfits targeting journalists, targeting anyone who doesn't conform with their ideas. That's what I've been saying. So there is a culture of intolerance. If you don't if journalists don't agree with your political line, you are targeted everywhere. So if the big three parties, Mao is the biggest party in the Constituent Assembly, if they set an example that this is not something we tolerate, I think these kind of instances in Tarai and other parts of the country will automatically come down. But here we don't see Maoist or even UML, which is heading the government, very serious about tracking down those involved in the attack on journalists in the past.